thing of the sled just kind of like...
That was brutal.
Went over, and it was so hard to pull.
Mine was so bad.
Yeah. That happened to another athlete.
There's a few. Like, I mean, it happens. It happened last week. And it's funny. I talked to some of the guys last week, and so I'm good friends with Jeff, who won the weekend last week, and kind of like picked his brain a bit after it was done, and little things that some things are just like they're obvious, like workout like Linda where it's all barbell, whatever. We know that. Yeah. For this, it's like, hey, what's that sled like? We've never touched it. Is there one in the back to warm up with? He's like, we didn't have one. And then on the floor, he said he kept going out to fix his. Yeah. It's like mine folded over a few times.
She like when she turned it, she's like, oh, fix. And then
yeah. So what Jeff told me is he's like it's like creasing paper. It's like once it's folded up and it drags on it, like I was going out fixing it, going back. I do like one clean pull, next pull, back under. So he's like, honestly, man.
What's the point of it? Like,
I don't know.
Why have it there?
I don't know.
It's causing issues all around the board.
Yeah, I have no idea. Trust me, a lot of us have been asking that question. It's too big of a, like the sled is the whole workout. The machines don't matter that much. It's all decided on the sled, and you've got a piece of equipment that's like, it's better to be lucky than good.
Yeah.
And that's a huge problem. Yeah. And so that's what Jeff was like, I don't know, I fixed mine a bunch of times, and I kind of regret it. I feel like I lost a bunch of time just walking back and forth. He was still fine. I think he took 6th overall in that workout, but he was like, he's like, if I were you, if it starts folding over, just keep pulling it.
Oh, so you talked about it before.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't know, I would just keep pulling it. Like, if I could go back and do it again, that's probably what I would do. Because he's like, fixing it didn't really do anything.
Oh, so
it's just like, then you're kind of like, I'm working twice as hard to move half as far, and it's just like, at the end there, you're like watching people move it like 3-4 feet at a time, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on with this thing? Like, it's like, god damn it. So anyway, frustrating. It's a hard way to start, but that's what happens with those unpredictable workouts, right? That's the thing. It's hard to know what to do. That's the hardest thing in those workouts is when you have something new, you watch people go, and some people do it one way and it works. Some people do it another way and it kind of works, and you kind of have to make your best guess. And if something stops working, try to adapt on the floor, which is like, it's hard when you're tired and get frustrated on the floor. Usually things like that we see more of at the games, where you have to kind of figure it out as you go, and it's kind of a new thing to do here at semifinals. Yeah, so normally I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff. It didn't go my way today, so I don't know.
Overall,
it's nice to be done moving. I think I took 15th, which is not good for me in that workout. I think it's hard also to like watch competitors that I feel like I should be easily beating in certain types of workouts, particularly a workout like that's very pull heavy. Like I'm a very good puller, and I usually win or come top 3 in workouts like that. So that was a bit frustrating, and that's what near the end, it's just, you can feel like getting frustrating, and you're like, you just want to get out of there, get done, and then go back to the drawing board. Tonight should be another decent one for me, but another one with the ruck bag and something kind of new for people. Yeah, I think so. I think most of it should be fine for me. I just have to, like I said, snap back from this one.
It'll be fine.
Took one to the face here for event 1, and then I'll regroup though. It's not the first time for me to blow one, but it's a tight field, so there's not a lot of room for a lot of mistakes like that.
10 make it.
Yeah, 9 for the men, 10 for the women.
Yeah, like that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. So it'll be, but there's at least 10 good guys. There's like 15 that can make it pretty. So you gotta, taking a 15th place finish isn't good. You want to try to park them all in the top 10 there if you can.
Yeah, for sure.
I was just trying to rest my arms a little bit, I think.
The grip. You were resting your grip.
It was more like shoulders and stuff like that, and it was just getting very aerobic. It's like you just try to let all the tension out somehow.
Yeah.
And it's just hard. At the end, your just arms are heavy. Yeah, everything, forearms, shoulders, all the stuff.
Okay.
But it was a lot more like, because the sled was so heavy and hard to move, it was, you're driving a lot from like your hips and legs and stuff, right? And you're kind of finishing with your arms.
Yeah.
So it was sort of it's a different type of pull. But yeah, I ran out of juice a little bit on the pull there. So, I'd like to blame my sled, but we'll see.
Definitely wasn't.
Done now. Then move on to the next one.
Well, that's good.
I was happy with the second one today. Nice to rebound, you know, get some points back on the board, do something I'm good at. I just careful not to overreach. I didn't want to like feel like I needed to win it and then get greedy and blow myself up on the second round and fall apart, because we saw a few people do that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing harder to watch than that. So, you know, you had to I think you had to go hard enough that at the end of the second round you wished it was the end of the workout, and then just weather it for one more.
Yeah.
But
did you ever feel like you were getting text? Or no?
You know, my second round on the ring muscle up complex wasn't awesome. And I was a bit I think I did my third muscle up and caught it kind of low, and I was like, I don't love that, because I know I got a whole other round of these.
Right.
And I got to go pretty hard still this round. So I did the whole second round, tried not to think about it, came back to the rings, and I was like, whew. And then actually, I was getting some warnings for my lockout on the rings from my judge. So when I came back, they were just like, hey, focus on your lockout in this next round. We're going to take a rep away here. So I was kind of like, and I just sort of tightened my bag a little more to try to make sure that I was sitting nice and high. And the last round of ring complex actually felt better than the second round. So I was like, that was nice. I was a bit concerned I was maybe going to run into a wall there, but so the last round went fine. And then it was pistols were just slow. I lost time on the pistols because I was trying to make them all count and not be greedy there, and then just sort of be smooth and controlled on the box. I did step downs for most of the workout, which is I can do because I have longer legs than some of those guys. But it was a way to keep my heart rate down for most of it, and just kind of make sure I could still move at a good enough pace to, I did 20 reps in the first round. I was moving as fast as anybody out there, but just reduce the impact a little bit so you don't quite get as much of a heart rate spike. And I think it was paid off in the second round for sure. And I think the last round, your heart rate's just high no matter what you did. Yeah. So, but that was good. Good way to. I'll sleep better tonight with that finish than with that first one today. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna try to just eat as much as I can for the next friggin' half an hour, have a shower and lay in bed and eat food and be a slob. Because we have the early start tomorrow too. So, be nice. The only thing better than Linda is doing it at 9 a.m. So. Be good. Get ready for some heavy loading first thing in the morning. Wake this body up. Yeah, it was good. It was nice to. It was fun to have Brent and I both crush the last one too, and have it be just the funny. Somebody made a comment on the way out that we're the two older guys. And he's these two pale Canadian grandpas out there just turning the jets on. What was that? But it was good. It was fun. It was a good event for Brent. Took 2 seconds, and I took a sixth and a first, which is great. Lifted well, better than I thought. Well, as good as I hoped for. Okay. I almost got a bit greedy at the end there, and I smoked my 285, and then I was I almost put 295 on. Yeah. But I've never, my max is 290. I've never hit 295. So I've missed it close a couple times, and I'm sure I can hit it. I just haven't. Yeah. So I was maybe you just do it, but I don't know. It's easy to look back and be the second one went well, and I hit my 290, and maybe I could have hit the 295, but actually looked afterwards, and it would have made very little difference points-wise. It would have bumped me up one spot. So
I guess
If you hit it, you're a hero, and if you miss it, you're an idiot. Like at the end of the day, I look at that 4-5, and I'm like, I hit 4 for 4 on my lifts. I matched my 100% snatch, like my current best, and then I won the running event. Like you take the win. It's easy to, in hindsight, be like, could I squeaked out 5 more pounds, 10 more pounds? Oh, for sure. And feel like after the workout, when it goes well, you like 20 minutes later, you remember how you felt a little bit differently, and you're like, oh, I'm sure I could have gone faster. I was feeling really good. But in that moment, you're like, no way, right? So my coach says that sometimes. She's like, if you could have gone faster, you would have.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a pretty good point. Like there was a reason I started doing whatever I was doing, right? It was good. I felt good. I felt good coming off the run there. Take a bow. It was nice. It's nice to know when you've done it. You've done good. And then watch everybody else just collapse at the finish line, right?
Yeah.
Just die.
That was awesome.
So glad, I executed well, and I didn't feel like that. So it was not too bad. Yeah. This morning's one was good. I mean, Linda's, I don't know. It's a weird one. You gotta know what to do, and it's different for everybody. Like I have a good pull, good posterior chain. The deadlifts are good for me. The cleans are mad. Like I'm pretty good at turning over lots of squat cleans, but the bench is like I'm not a bencher, so I gotta kind of like deconstruct the workout around that. And I broke the first 3 rounds on the bench to try to just like use that as my rest. And then move the cleans much faster than everyone else. I still did singles, but I turned them over a lot faster to just make up that time that I took a break on the dumbbells. So for me, like that just spikes my heart rate a lot. A lot of people did nice steady singles to keep their heart rate down, and I just didn't. I did the opposite. And I would do cleans as fast as I could, unbroken deadlifts because that's what I'm good at. And then I'd be back on the bench and I'd take a holiday, like every time. Just sit down, take a big 10, 15, 20 seconds, and then get them back up. And after breaking the first 3 rounds, I tried to get through unbroken. I failed 1 in the round of 4. I just kind of messed it up. Got 1 no rep for a squat clean for depth, but other than that, it was pretty smooth.
Good to me.
Yeah, sometimes you just take one, and that's fine. Take it on the chin. It was early. It was in the round of 7, I think, so it was fine. But then you just kind of chip away, and the work's almost done by the time you get done the round of 6. Like those last 5 rounds, it's not a lot of work. In terms of reps, it's like all the work is done. So it's like focus on just getting through the first 6 rounds and like move faster than you want, because you'll get to 5 and like you're like halfway through the rounds, but you're way past half. Like you're at like the finishing kick. Like get through 5, maybe 4, and then start trying to like run. I didn't really have the gear at the end. I was because I was very quick on the cleans and hard on the deadlifts. My posterior chain was just rocked. Like I would come back from those last cleans where we had a bit farther transition, and I'd like try to jog, but you do those like 3 pretend jog steps, and I was like, nah, just walk. I was like, no, my hamstrings want nothing to do with that. So Chandler caught me in the end there, and that was why. He had a little more giddy up at the end there, and was quicker getting the dumbbells up too. So those last like 3 rounds, basically, he caught me and passed me there. But managed to hold off the crew. There was like a pretty big chunk of people that finished just after me. So I mean, placing wise, it was perfect. So
Good.
A couple thirds. It was like a third today and a 6th and a 1st. So take that all day. Things happen fast. And like the weekend passes by in a blink. It's like suddenly you're 2 days in and you're like, holy, like I need to get it together. So it's crazy.
You have 2 more workouts.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it starts and you're like, man, we're barely getting into it, and you blink and you're almost done, right? Yeah. So the opportunities pass fast, and if things aren't going your way, it can feel hard to get your footing. So
Absolutely.
like I've been there before. Like I've had lots of bad finishes in my career, and it's tough. So I don't know. Hopefully it's a good day tomorrow for the people who need it.
Yeah.
But not good enough that they get ahead of me. It's nice. It's nice. It's one of those things, right? You want your friends to be successful as long as it's not quite as good as you.
Yeah. Yep.
But once things are underway, everyone's competitive, and like everybody's trying to win, and everybody has their goals, and like you get some people who I like to talk to people and try to be light and joke around because it helps my stress. And that's just other people are like that, so you gravitate to each other and you like help each other out. It's just if we're talking about whatever and laughing, I'm not thinking about this thing I'm about to do.
Exactly.
And that helps me, right? It's like otherwise I'll spin off the planet, right? You get stressed and anxious, and it's just a strategy to fight that. But some people aren't like that, and they want to hunker down and just be with their thoughts and go stand in a corner and like, dude, power to you. Like, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to go over there and try to peck at you because that's what I need if it's not what you need, right? So it's interesting. Like you want it to be like that, this nice kind of homecoming with everyone hanging out. And, you know, periodically you have those moments, but it's more before and after. Like, you know, between the whistles, people are playing to win. So you don't want to, you know, and as a friend, I try not to stomp on any toes and get in people's ways. But yeah.
Is there a particular event tomorrow you're excited about?
I like that first one. You know, there's some different things going on this weekend, and I think the one tomorrow morning doesn't hurt that bad.
Okay.
It's a lot of skills. It's high execution, like it's high risk, but it doesn't. There's risk of failure in elements, but it's not going to like make you hurt.
Sure.
So that's kind of a nice change of pace for now from today.
What's that workout again?
It's with like the handstand pirouettes and the overhead squats and the like seated climbing. So, you know, I was a gymnast for a long time and I've done all that stuff, and I think I've got a reasonable amount of confidence in that. But there's some guys with really good handstand stuff and that can rip out handstand push-ups a lot better than me. So we'll see. I'll have to try to play the game there a little bit, and it's the kind of workout if you overreach, you can really pay for it. So I think composure is important there, and that's the thing. So it's a slow, steady, calculated approach, which is going to make you successful. And then the second one is just you kind of got to grip it and rip it, and you know.
What's that?
Yeah, the bikes to toast the bar sandbag, and I'm good at that, but it doesn't feel good.
Right. It's fun to watch.
So yeah, I'm not like that one's going to be different. That's what I mean. In a perfect world, I'll have a decent point spread so I can push it hard, but I don't have to do something reckless.
Yeah.
And that would be great. Let the guys who are behind me have to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the first one will be fun. But I agree that you're right. The last one is fun to watch. That's what the fans want. Dude, somebody asked me that when that first got announced. Like, do you think there's going to be people like diving over the line like there was at Rogue? And I thought there would be, but I think they were smart because that's not the finish line, right? Your line where you drop the bag and then you got to run like 10 more feet. So you're not pushing for the line in the same way you were at Rogue. Because that one was intense. So when I'm actually training, I hate doing stuff like that because it just feels like going to work out after I work out. But if I'm not training and I have like a week, I'd tend to start doing more of that. I'd be like, I'll take the dogs for like a bigger hike or something like that. And try to get outside more, but I don't know. I kind of like taking time to just not do much because I don't have the opportunity very often.
Yeah.
So with work and training and my wife working lots and the baby, it's just like it's not common. So sometimes when you just have a chance to like sit on your hands and do nothing, it's like I'm gonna regret it in 2 months when I'm just like tapped out. I'll be like, I should have taken that 3 days to do nothing and have a holiday, a little staycation. But we'll see. I might try to do some fun. If it's nice at home, I'll maybe go to like, there's some really nice stuff by the river, and people go picnic by the river and spend a day, and there's nice like rock pools and things, so get some friends and go do stuff like that. We'll see. But yeah, it'll be nice. We'll make a short list with my coach after this weekend and figure some stuff out that we got to do for the next 2 months, prioritize, and then we'll move on.
Awesome.
Try to get another one of these at the games.